Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing amazing. So I wanted to just go on and share a crazy story with you. If you jump in, put in the comments. If you're an entrepreneur, put in entrepreneur. If you catch the replay, type in entrepreneur on replay, whatever. I don't know. I love sharing about our experience, why we do what we do. And in this video, I wanted to talk about how to get the right entrepreneurial or business advice. So if you don't know, you can find just about anything on the internet. People will give you advice on YouTube, right? Here on YouTube, I'm giving advice. And you will be able to find anything on YouTube saying one way or another way, or whatever. And there is so much information out there that just tells us what we should do, what we can do, whatever, blah blah blah. And oftentimes it's not advice that may be relevant to our own unique situation. It might be great advice for a specific thing, or there's people out there who think they're experts on something when they're not experts on something. They might, for, let's say, finance, they'll just pull out stuff that they found on the internet and then reshare that and say, look, I'm an expert, which is probably not true. They just found it, did their own 20-minute research to make a video or whatever. So how do you get the right entrepreneurship advice? So the reason that we even started a channel, why we started our Grandma's Wealth Wisdom and all of this, was we were running our coffee shop, running our business, and as we're running our business, people saw that we were successful. They're like, wow, you've been doing this and you're amazing. And can you come and can you teach this or can you do that? And I had a professor tell us, can you come teach my entrepreneurship class? Because I teach entrepreneurship. Can you teach them and for a session? And she asked us to come in multiple times for her class. And for me, she told me, she said, I teach entrepreneurship because I can't do what you do. And that really frustrated me because she was teaching, people were paying lots of money to get her advice on how to be an entrepreneur. Right? They were out there trying. I mean, they again wanted to learn how to be an entrepreneur. What's the best things to do? And I'm not knocking schools or education, but if it's all theory and not some practice behind it, then it's just again just theory. It's book knowledge. And so, as an entrepreneur, you want to find the right entrepreneurship advice, and usually that's going to come from people or individuals who are a couple steps ahead, right? They have a track record, they have a business, maybe they're doing what you want to do, right? And so as you're looking for advice, look for people who are a few steps ahead of you. Are they at least a few steps ahead of you and where you want to be? If they're not, then maybe take that advice with a grain of salt. And it doesn't have to be in your specific business. It might be in certain parts, right, of your business. Maybe it's again with the finance side, or with they might do something within retail, and are they doing something similar, and are they a few steps ahead of where you want to be? And so can you learn something from them, and they can share both their successes and failures. If there's no failures from other people that are the experts or the advice that they're giving, then they're just giving you things that they read in the books. And so you want to find, what are the failures? What are the landmines I should look out for? And how do we overcome that? And I felt like so many people wanted to start an ethical coffee shop like we did, and they would come in and say, "Oh, I want to do this. This is so awesome. Can I just pick your brain?" And that really frustrated me. But what they wanted to learn is, "Hey, you're a few steps ahead. What can I learn from you?" And so we shared a little bit until at one point we're like, well, man, we are experts. We know what we're talking about. And there's a lot of knowledge that we can share with others. And so that was something where we said, maybe we can use our knowledge to help others. But then again, in this YouTube world, there's so much information out there that may not be accurate, or it might be accurate, but it might not be accurate to you or to your unique situation or to where you're at right now. And so with that professor, yeah, she was great. She's teaching entrepreneurship, and some of it was probably really great information. But if you're going to do a coffee shop like we were, you want to intern at a coffee shop or somehow figure out how to learn from the implementers. So that's number one. Are they where you want to be? And the other is, do they have current stories and references? And are they, if they are, for me, I failed in this, if they are going to help you with YouTube or whatever, and they don't have a presence themselves, or if they don't have solid references or any of that on themselves, not just for other people, but on their own businesses, then maybe that's a sign. And so do they have current stories and references, and is their business a few steps where you want to be? Is it going in that direction? And so when you look at that, look and say, okay, they are where I want to be. They are moving in the direction I want to move in. They have current stories, not, yeah, I did this 20 years ago, but are they still doing that? Is it still working for them? And are they still building in that? And so another tip, don't just, again, randomly find somebody, see that they're growing, see that they're doing the things that you want to have happen, right? And the other one is, are they just selling you, or do they use what they implement? I will tell you that there's a lot of selling out there, and there's a lot of that, like, hey, I'm going to create this. If you buy this, then it's going to solve your whole world. And this is, I think with our cafe, Yelp, people would show up and say, if you buy this much Yelp review or Yelp advertising, you're gonna be amazing, and you're not gonna, whatever. And I felt like, man, they were just selling me because you make money, right? And maybe it is worth it to buy that thing. But really thinking strategically, are they just selling you, or do they use the services that they are telling you to implement? Are they practitioners of what they teach? And so I think within our financial structures and what we do, and we implement and we practice what we preach. You want to find people that practice what they preach, are a few steps ahead, are going in that direction, and are the advice is what they again, are using. Maybe they're going to share you some advice of, here's a landmine that I stepped into, don't do that, and all of that. So, and then the other thing is, this is a bonus tip, think for yourself. Don't just take people's videos or even your professor at college and all of these other things. Don't just say, well, yeah, they said it, so therefore it must be like this or whatever. Think for yourself, especially as a business owner. If you're an entrepreneur, learn to think for yourself and know, okay, is this going to work for me? Why do I believe what I believe? Is this going to get me where I want to go? And I believe that there's multiple guides that may have different conflicting conversations, right? And you have to figure out what works for you, what is going to help you. And if it doesn't help you, then you drop it, right? So, but the reality is you need to think for yourself. If you don't do that, and I think, again, oftentimes we want the easy button, and thinking is not easy. Building a strategy and a plan, and we can consume information, but really the other thing is, how do we then implement the information? How do we make it realized for us? And so those, as you are getting advice, as you want to grow your business, as you want to grow your entrepreneurship endeavor, as you're in college or whatever, learn to think for yourself, and do all those other things that I mentioned. So what do you have in there? What are you thinking? Is this something that you look at and say, all right, you're right. I am just consuming information. I take all this advice, but again, the best advice is the advice that you're going to implement. The best advice is the advice you're going to implement and do, and finding the right people. With that professor, man, I was like, really? She makes a whole lot of money teaching entrepreneurship. They're spending tons of money on this, and so decided, hey, I need to help be a guide to other people because of that. And that was the reason we did this. So, and having current stories. So with all that, that's all I got today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell for notifications of other videos. We got some amazing stuff coming up here on our channel, and a lot more really great things that we want to help you, so you can break through to a smart, stable financial future in your personal life and in your business. That's our goal. With all that, I will talk to you next time. Keep being awesome.